This pod is not that, Josh.
I've already heard other pods get mad about other pods.
Not
For
that.
fantasy purposes,
God, no, that's
the
sick.
problem is that
That's sick.
What's up, you city slicking, wound licking, line up cherry picking bunch of degenerates? No, something was wrong. I mixed up the words again.
No, that was completely.
that sounded perfectly fine.
Yeah, it sounded average like usual. And
Josh Selway here.
That's what we need.
Push through, Rob.
Rob Cash.
Push through.
Nope, that was not right.
Push through.
That was
push.
not right.
It was perfectly fine.
What's up, you bunch of city slicking, wound licking, line up cherry picking degenerates?
We're pushing through like having a baby.
I'm glad we heard the same thing
There
again.
it was. Nope. Go back and listen.
Well, I will.
You don't understand the little nuances to the intro.
And I will
game.
admit, I was not listening.
Neither
there.
of you have ever
And
produced
could be,
one.
Could be
What's
completely.
up, you city licking?
Not to mention, have ever
cherry
even
picking.
offered a good suggestion for me to use.
Oh, okay.
I offered
Sits
four
down
today.
at the table every single time and goes, all right, what rhymes with picking? What
Yep,
rhymes
and who
with
always
licking?
thinks of the word that rhymes? Me.
Sixth grade
So why
English.
do I even ask?
All over
Your
again.
opinions don't matter.
Yes, I do 90% of the time, I do believe.
Well, first of all, we got recap yap coming up for week 9, but I just have to. I just need to communicate this to someone because my son today. It was a difficult day. First of all, going into school, some kid tackled him from behind out of nowhere.
Preschool, correct?
It's like preschool. Tackled him from behind, and I could tell as soon as he started crying, it was legit pain, real injury, like a rare, genuine cry from a toddler. I was like, "Oh boy!"
It was like
'Cause
a back injury?
Kid got him pretty good. No, he's grabbing his foot, and he was limping into the classroom.
Unnecessary roughness or fair game?
They wrestle a lot. Hudson kind of wasn't paying attention. It was a big hit, though.
Okay.
Kid got him. Could tell it was a serious injury.
So
Goes into school. Already a rough day for him. He's limping around at home. He's trying to be a pirate, swinging around, powering through it. And then, I'm getting texts from Jordan saying, we got to start at 7. We got to start at 7, which is Hudson's bedtime. And I got to, had to tell him I couldn't read him the bedtime story. He's upset, but he says, okay, Uncle Beaver. Uncle Beaver.
He'll understand one day.
That's all he says, just mumbling. He was hurt, so I'm trying to overcome that now.
Tough though.
Are you sure that it was a 100% injury and not just acting as if he had a peg leg?
No, you can.
Pirate.
I made that reference. You can ask Laura. I didn't make that reference while we were playing. I made some sort of joke about.
Easily could have been confused in
Having
that
a peg leg.
situation, Bun.
So
true.
it just went right into the pirate.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well, I was crushing.
How about that?
Yeah, I was crushing pirate playtime lately. So, but Uncle Beaver did traumatize Hudson today with, and then he was an hour late, but we made it. And you're back from New York City. So what did you at least bring him back a souvenir, a miniature, anything?
Miniature apple, maybe a skyscraper. I mean, if it was.
Hopefully it wasn't $20.
Well, I mean, if it
Jesus.
was, if it was Bun buying the gifts for a son, we know that it would be
Junk.
Heavily scrutinized, apparently.
Overpriced junk.
I just try to grab anything and get out of
Officially
there.
licensed plush toys.
People over my shoulder in Vegas like, yeah, you're buying that? That's $20. The guy in the checkout kind of makes a face too, like a Seinfeld episode.
In New York, you have the option to get like some sort of Knicks toy or like a Yankees. They're pretty popular, and Bun probably would come back with like the professional ice skaters of New
It was an
York City.
obscure mascot. Did you get lost, Beaver? Were you walking? I just picture you walking between two skyscrapers.
Well, first of all, that
in wonderment, but
you weren't
wandering in wonderment.
I'm still on this Hudson thing. I do feel bad. What I'll do, I did
no llama
I
in red
obviously
pajamas.
Did not get it.
No bedtime stories.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty fucked up. The fact
another
that
hug.
He's legitimately upset he didn't get a bedtime story because
the murmuring.
He loves when I read them too because
Bun was rushed to be here by 7 and you literally get here at 8 o'clock.
And I felt bad for being 7 minutes late.
I felt bad reading the text message of what Hudson was actually experiencing.
Yeah, and I do too, boys. I'm not a fucking monster. But
Laura's Googling.
What I'll do is I went to New York City when I was in
fantasy brings out the worst. Fantasy brings out the worst in people sometimes, and I think that this could be one of those.
And I got a bunch of souvenirs, so I'll give him those ones. He'll love them.
So can we get this in writing what the obligation is to what Beaver is required to get Hudson? I think we should, because we all know previous agreements.
I don't know what all I got.
Something that was expected to be guaranteed that Cato was going to get his Frosty Paws when he won us a big dog entry on Underdog, and that didn't happen.
That's betrayal.
Yeah. I mean, Cato's still upset about that. We don't need this to be a double upsetting factor for Hudson. I mean, Josh is going to go home. He's probably
traumatizing all those closest to us.
He's going to wake him up and say, "Listen, Hudson, Uncle Beeve, he said that he's going to get you these couple things."
Yeah, that's fine. That's safe to do that. And this is forward-thinking progress. We don't need to rehash the past. Yeah. No, we'll I'll get squared up with him.
Yeah, I heard Hudson likes LaMelo checkered.
It's true.
Optics.
Optic cards. He is a big card collector.
Yeah, I think that could be fitting.
I've got some other LaMelos.
Possibly. No, I know where your heart lies.
Aesthetically, like he really desires the checkered one. Nah. You went to it for a child.
Did you get lost in New York City?
Can't do it. No, didn't get lost.
Stayed close to the hotel.
Played it safe. Honestly, got some good advice from some trusted friends and I could just sense the sincerity and the genuineness in their tone when they told me, just like they asked me, they were like, just please don't try to go to the city. You'll never make it. Dave even said, it's not about you. It's just like nobody would. Like you're for sure going to be late. Like there's just such a high chance that you'll miss the wedding.
Oh, okay. So you guys were.
So I stuck to it, and I listened to him, and I went to a nearby shopping center instead, which was a 4-story mall. Easily the highlight of the trip. Nothing against the wedding. It was an unbelievable wedding. Literally had the appetizers were unbelievable. Like the cocktail hour, they usually put out like a charcuterie board or something to pick at. This motherfucker had a make your own pasta setup, a fucking
stuffed pepper. Any stuffed peppers?
A raw bar with shrimp the size of your fist, and then they were even shaving live meat at another stand, which I thought was actually.
And this was at Trump.
That's a bit much. Yeah, this was at the Trump Club. So.
Trump Club.
Well done, Donnie. Impressive. But no, I went to this shopping center, 4 stories high, and they had this rope climbing thing at the top. And, so you're like climbing these ropes and like going across these like tight ropes and shit, and like all in the middle area where it's all hollow and you can see down all 4 floors. Thousands of feet in the air. And I thought it'd be cool. I thought I'd be cool with it. Because I rode roller coasters and shit before. My general rule of thumb is if you're strapped in, they say you're good. There's nothing to worry about. But I'm telling you, dude, even being strapped in, being on that fucking tightrope and looking down was just. I was shook. I was being such a pussy about it too. I was literally asking Paige if we could just go back down to the bottom. You
got to be ready to die.
I didn't want to do it, man.
If you're doing anything like that,
it was intensely frightening.
You're not an adrenaline junkie. It's just what it comes down to.
No, I am though. That's not true. That's not true.
An adrenaline junkie would thrive in that moment.
Again.
Nope. Sorry, pal.
But I ended up doing it in a really fragile, kind of soft. I kind of
lip quivering.
Yeah. Knees were shaking and shit. Dude, I had my fucking grundle. You want to talk about swamp ass? My grundle.
Oh God, I don't.
I don't need this.
I don't need that visual.
Was it piss or sweat? I don't know. It very well could have been either.
Everyone knows that you have the most body hair for male on the face of human earth. We don't need to create that gross of a picture for our listeners.
I was blacked out. And then eventually what I did, it was so bad, I wasn't even to the 2nd floor yet. I just purposely jumped off just for the thing to catch me, and then I'm like, okay. And then I got through the rest of the course.
Adrenaline junkie, thrill seeker.
Kind of embarrassing though, because this 14-year-old worker had to come out and kind of help me get back onto the course and shit. I was just dangling there.
What'd she say?
Pretty bad, man. I couldn't believe. Paige must have been really turned off by that, seeing that.
Well, we all have our moments. It's okay. You'll come back.
I'd like to take this one step
further,
but I'm not going to. Let's move on.
She'll forget it.
She must not have been too turned off.
She's probably not even thinking about it. Oh, well, now you're divulging.
Yeah. Do you want it?
Hell of a night.
Oh, okay. All right.
In the Big Apple.
Oh, Excitement in the Big Apple. That's all that happens there, I hear. The city doesn't sleep.
Look at this, 3 and out already.
Oh boy, we haven't even gotten a week 9.
Give them the disclaimer that I'm going to be.
We're starting to lose you. We got the Steelers on in the background in the least exciting game of probably the entire NFL season, and we can't get 20.
Absolutely not.
Can't get 20 minutes here out of Tom Cruise. Schedule's too tight.
You're so biased.
Week 9 in the
Justin
NFL.
Fields, potential breakout.
The story was the mind fuck, but obviously the biggest story was the Josh Allen on Josh Allen assault
please.
that we all received.
God, man, I already heard that on the media a million times. I don't need to hear it from you too.
Did you guys hear about this?
This pod is not that, Josh.
I've already heard other pods get mad about other pods saying
for fantasy purposes.
God, no, that's
the
sick.
problem is that
that's sick. We're better than that.
The problem is that Lamar, it was a mind fuck. So we're gonna start with the positives.
Hey, and you called it. You told me when we were talking through that DK lineup. You said
the last thing I said. It was just kind of dawning on me at the last moment. I'm looking at it, and I had a very just clear-minded feel. I said, "Wow, this slate could end up actually being extremely tilting."
Yeah,
from
volatile, it was.
Well, just my final lineup build didn't feel good at all, but we're not going to focus on the mind fucks to start. We're going to start with Lamar and just praise Lamar. He is back. Another huge day. They're throwing it down the field. Comes on late. What are you giggling about?
I gotta say one thing about.
Wait a minute. Did you lead like the entire breakdown with the Josh Allen thing, or did we? Because I had some points to make in the Bills. Jags
I wanted to just sneak that in to piss you guys off.
Are we still going to talk Bills Jags though?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Definitely got me wrong.
There was a beat hard sighting.
I do have to say one thing just about that Josh Allen. I mean,
it got so carried away.
It was so carried away. It was so annoying. Whenever Hansen has one of those things, he just drills it into the ground.
He drives it home.
Yeah, I mean, he just continued to drive it.
He is the dead horse beater.
He does not care.
All beaters.
Not only did Josh Allen sack Josh Allen the first time ever, the same name that's happened, Josh Allen just intercepted Josh Allen. But the one thing that I'll say that I was just cracking up about, the first time that he's explained like the whole Josh Allen, same name, playing Josh Allen thing, he goes, Josh Allen, whatever the quarterback's middle name is. So he goes, Josh, X middle name, Allen. And then he goes, for the defensive player, he goes, Josh actually doesn't have a middle name, Allen. which when I heard that, I'm like, wow, that's pretty rare. Like, I really don't think that I've ever heard of a person that I know that just doesn't have a middle name.
Oh, and he's getting fed all that shit live. So, like, he probably didn't notice it until just that second when he said it.
Oh, yeah. God, though, he just over-drilled that in the ground. Okay, we've said enough.
So Lamar was the cream of the crop once again. The unicorn is back. Offense looking good. MVP odds they're going to be going. They're going to be rising, and that's with Josh Allen's bad week as well. So that's going to be interesting.
Dude,
look at that.
Lamar is the MVP. He is the QB1.
Well, he was plus 2,500 last week.
He's going to finish the QB1. Oh, well, we got to get that in because they just keep winning. Like they could literally be 2-7. But that game could have been even bigger, dude. Missed Bateman on a 50-yard touchdown, and Andrews dropped a TD that got ran in.
No, that was a pass interference on Bateman.
Well, Andy missed him.
No, he missed.
Or you're saying he hit him and it was pass interference?
Yeah.
I don't know. Bateman got fucked out of a 50-yard touchdown because I remember getting pissed about it.
Yeah, it was it was literally right on the goal line, and Bateman tried to come back to it, and the defender stopped him from coming back. But yeah, I mean,
okay, yeah, I mean, you had two touchdowns
big
to that performance. Good lord.
The wide receiver core, I think that's the story. That's the story in Baltimore now, and just like we were talking about, Bun, it's just the shifting of just being a run first team to now just unleashing Lamar. I mean, he's now ultimate dual threat, and Bateman's showing that he's legit, and we don't even know what that offense is going to look like once Sammy Watkins gets back too.
And what's insane is that was one of the highest rush totals of the year. Like that wasn't even jailbreak Ravens. That was, just their usual thing.
Lamar did go for over 100.
Lamar had an outlier rushing
They have the perfect
but I'm just
three.
Saying, as a team, they rushed like 40 times,
Yeah,
that wasn't even like
in the receiving core. They have the
passing game's
three
great.
people that you need. They have the guy that Kansas City's missing in Bateman. That's what Kansas City needs, is a guy like Bateman. You get the speed guy, you get the stud tight end, you can move around, but then you need that possession receiver.
Well, they have it in the Tingler, but they don't use it.
I don't know if he's
Byron
quite
Pringle.
I don't know if he's quite on that level as Bateman.
No, he is.
The first round
He
pick.
is.
Maybe we'll just never see him get his rightful opportunity. But I do want to see those MVP odds. Minnesota side, Dalvin had the Najee Knight.
That'll be the only one. I just had to get one off.
Dalvin has like a 70-yard rush, but apparently not much after that. Justin Jefferson didn't do a lot after his big play either.
No, he was targeted, I believe, like 2 more times after that 50-yard touchdown. You just continue to scratch your head why they're just not fully on unleashing Justin Jefferson. And they continue to get themselves in these situations where it's like they get up and then they just completely take their foot off the gas pedal and think that they're just going to continue to control the game. But their defense is so bad that they just don't have the opportunity to do that. The only way that Minnesota is going to continue to win win is if they just continue to be an offensive juggernaut and unleash their offense.
They really might be the best 3-5 team in NFL history, though, or 3-6.
Got to win.
Unbelievable.
Another not mindfuck, Cleveland. I think we saw Nick Chubb running over Cincinnati. He did. He only had like 14 or 15 carries. He didn't even get the ball that much. Didn't matter. Every other highlight was either Lamar or Nick Chubb. 2 touchdowns. Stinky Joe, how much did you play? How much did you play in DFS?
A ton, 50%.
He was extra stinky. Took him down to the red zone.
No, he was not.
He was yes, he was.
He was regular stinky. He was not extra stinky.
I knew you were over 50. I knew you were over 50% because there was a drought time period where we just didn't receive responses within the text message group. It was like
ran cold. Mixon got the first one, but listen, I love the squandered opportunity stats.
Oh no,
Jamar had a big one. I mean, drop TD and one called back.
So did Higgins.
Yeah, and then that's where I was going. Higgins. So I mean, you're talking
a couple of those drops from
that
Higgins,
and that would have made it a legit shootout. Like
I think it was a late 4th down. Joe just threw one up to Higgins, and he went up for it and had it like in his hands, and he looks like he was so high in the air.
Yeah,
God, it just hasn't happened for Higgins yet, but it's like it's dancing around a 10 catch, 100-yard, 2 touchdown game.
Well,
one of these weeks.
Yeah, and I said it last week. That's the buy low, man. The volume's insane. It's probably still not too late either. People just don't realize the significance of that volume. But yeah, those 2 of those were dead drives. So I mean, didn't get anything.
What about
it was right there. It was right there. That was the game.
DPJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Hit on the big one.
It is
that's
weird.
All he's going to be. He's just going to be a home run ticket each week.
It's weird though. I mean.
But why is he hitting them and Odell can't hit him?
Yeah, bizarre. It's been the same story since day one, never changed, and it's just continuing to play out now. That
Odell's a baby, though. I mean, this talk about cliche topic here if we were to go down that route, but I mean, I could totally see him being the type of guy that just kind of like quits trying or whatever because he's frustrated.
Drama seems to follow certain people throughout life. Anything else, Browns?
That's deep.
Cincy.
No, I mean Nick Chubb explosion.
Could have been a really, really big.
Massive.
Could have been a nuclear explosion.
The Browns defense too.
That game didn't get out of hand.
I mean, the Browns defense. You can't forget week to week that what Myles Garrett can just do by himself, and he caused a lot of pressure. They timely turnovers.
Nick Chubb,
forward-thinking show, but
and Cincy was favored in that game. Let's not forget Cincy -2.5 going into that game.
Yes, they were forward-thinking show. Of course, it didn't work out, but if Joe does connect on even say 2 of those 3 touchdowns. Chubb never gets pulled. D'Ernest had double-digit carries. I mean, this could have been the stack of all stacks. The one, the double.
There was meat on the bone.
Well, that was my.
I mean, it could have went nuclear.
That was my number 1 mini correlation. And literally,
those plays killed Chubb too.
Across the board was I had Chubb and then I had Higgins or Chase in 70% of my lineup. So just the fact that those didn't hit, man, it did hurt. It took down a lot of the ceiling of what could have been for the week.
Is there any chance? Rob and I were talking that Joe is. He's kind of up and down. I mean, he's had his highs, he's had his lows. Could he be the new Jameis? Does he have that in him?
What do you mean? He coming into this week, he was the only quarterback in the league with 2 touchdowns in every game. So what do you mean up and down? Pull up his.
We struck a nerve.
I don't want to be a box score.
We struck a nerve here.
Watching fish here, but I mean, pull it up. He's literally just.
We can just move on.
He's rock solid.
We can just move on.
This is such a bad take. I'm not going to stand for that.
No, honestly,
I already have to hear this bullshit nickname Stinky, and we're like using it in replacement of his name now. It's not even Stinky Joe. It's just Stinky. Like everyone's supposed to fucking know that Stinky is the greatest quarterback prospect to come out of our lifetime. They should just make that correlation, I guess.
I mean, dude, he does have like 13 interceptions on the year.
Dude, he's a riverboat gambler.
Yeah, that's why we're saying it's kind of turning into like
could be the new age Jameis.
Yeah, and guess what?
Production.
And Jameis finished QB1, so
well,
where are we going with this?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm calling for. I think there is a QB1 year in his future. I mean,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for
I think
sure.
by the end of the
Yeah.
year, he could be
It
putting
could
up
be this. It could be
elite
this year.
numbers. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
it's not.
still
It's not
trending
this
upward.
year. It's not
There's
this
a
year.
there's a
No,
10%
we're still
chance.
on the upward
It's
climb.
not this year.
Yes,
There's a
is.
10%
I agree.
chance.
Higher, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, if
All
you didn't throw 13
17.
interceptions in the first 8 games, first half of the season, maybe.
What do
but
we care about interceptions? It's -1.
Another non
You're just
in the aquarium, it is not on DraftKings.
you're just prodding at Joe. That's all you're doing.
another. I don't think this was really a
Trying
mind
to kick him
fuck.
while he's down. I don't blame you because he's
Stink,
not down very
stank,
often.
stunk.
You got to take
Next
advantage of the
topic, Bun.
opportunity.
Arizona just striking down the 49ers. Missing Kyler going in, Hopkins losing Edmonds, first play of the game, first carry, whatever, early. Just ran all over them. 49ers are dead. We played Chase Edmonds.
Do we owe
Land,
Yeah,
land on
well,
Chase Edmonds, and he goes out. James Conner goes nuclear.
The thesis was good. So really, the only
It would have been a great day for Chase.
the only contribution I made to the weekly DK lineup with Bun this week was that I got him off of Myles Gaskin, which, by the way, #1 opportunity on the week of any running back. So you were absolutely right about the volume, but I think
He had
my
20
take
carries for 37 yards.
I know, and he still didn't beat you. I mean, I
No,
think my
that's
take
what I
was
told
good.
Rob. For this week, he would have been fine. But
Yeah,
Chase,
no, I mean,
Chase's
it's fine to have
upside in
your
that
lineup,
game,
but he didn't beat you.
dude, Arizona just clobbered.
Dude, Chase was gonna smash.
Yeah.
he was gonna smash. It was a perfect
play.
play.
Do you have any sad
We were
music
set
on
up.
that
We were set up.
Yeah,
mixer? Because that's what we
Yeah,
need.
the sad music should also be for the Connor apology that somebody needs to issue. I will.
No, we don't.
What do you mean?
It's
He's
fine.
a stud, dude.
Is this
Oh,
is this
boy.
the, is this the sad button? Oh no, no, sorry,
He's frantically
that's
hitting
not the
those.
one. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not exactly how we thought about Chase Edmonds yesterday. And I had that one lineup in DFS where I was top 20, and all I needed was like 20 points out of Edmonds, and it stings. It stings specifically because then you got to watch James Conner go for 40. So
Yeah.
Then Eno Benjamin
It stings-
running over
it
a
stings because of
cornerback
that.
into the end zone for a 20-yard touchdown.
But at the same time, you do take it as a positive just because you know that your process was correct. It stings, but the process was correct. What else we got?
Dude, James Conner, I mean,
It's not enough.
Dude, he is, he's a top 5 guy since he
I
got
know,
off to the
yeah,
slow start.
Yeah, it's turned out.
I mean, I
that
think
way.
he's like RB8 right now.
Dude, he has
RB7.
12 touchdowns.
Yeah.
12 touchdowns on the year. I mean,
He's RB3.
Is it Trey
since week
Lance
2.
time? Jimmy G has been
Has to be.
He's not pushing the ball down the field. The receivers, you watch that
He's
game,
ass.
the
He's
eye
a
test.
statue.
Kittle's grabbing one-handers. Ayuk's getting crunched from both sides. There's people making plays.
we were watching that game yesterday. Bun and I. Bun came over for the afternoon games, and you watch San Francisco, and they legitimately have the best receiving talent, debatably in the NFL. I mean, aside from probably Dallas, but Debo, Ayuk, and George Kittle, it's just there isn't talent like that receiving run after the catch ability, and it's just nothing's coming of it in San Francisco. It's just Shanahan's
George needs to stay healthy. George is so special.
Shanahan's
man.
fake sharp.
Jimmy
Shanahan is fake sharp.
Jimmy G is a fragile old man. He is so frail. He throws fucking hospital balls. That's why everybody's always hurt. He sucks. He's like a scared kitten.
Gosh.
So you're taking it even a step further that
He's
not
always
only is he
panicking,
bad,
just-
but he is the reason to blame for the injuries. They just lost another offensive lineman too. So they're just
even
it's
more
just-
reason to go to somebody that can evade a little bit of pressure. I mean, that's the problem. That's the number one thing about him is that he just cannot evade pressure whatsoever. He's just stiff.
Since you mentioned the Joe Burrow, just referencing
frantic stiff.
referencing him as Stinky, then I'm thinking of Hey Arnold. Now I'm thinking of Jimmy G as a grandpa.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like,
Just
we're gonna call
grandpa, the
Joe.
character. He doesn't even have a name. His name's just Grandpa.
Yeah.
And,
There we go, Grandpa Jimmy. I mean, well, yeah, that's my point. There's guys smelling like Jimmy G out here, and we're making fun of fucking Burrow.
do you guys not watch Hey Arnold?
Yeah, I got you.
I just watched the Hey Arnold movie on Netflix. Netflix Kids. Not bad, actually.
Really? Wow, I'll have to check that out. Did not know about that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Wheels up for Eli Missile. I think I bring him up on every show.
Eli Missile, is
He
that
was
a new
catching
nickname?
He was catching passes too
Yeah.
at the end there.
That's a new nickname.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's a stud. No, that's old.
I mean, it's wheels up for all the 49ers. If they could just figure out, just as a team, there's just something missing there.
Ayuk seems to be back. I mean, dude, it's just all you have to do is put Trey in, and it's a Super Bowl.
Chargers at Eagles.
Coach speak on Ayuk too.
Her-
Finally said something nice about him.
We called it, Lowry.
We did.
Literally called it.
We did.
We knew as soon as he caught that touchdown, Lowry and I were just playing out the scenario. Like, well, yep, tomorrow you're going to hear some quote from Shanahan.
You're going to see
saying
the blurb.
That's what we needed. That's what we needed from my.
You're going to see the blurb on Twitter where it's from Kyle Shanahan. Yep, that's exactly what we've been trying to get out of him this entire year, and it's good to see it.
Yeah. Slurped him big time. Can't remember the exact quote. Something about like
Just he's so predictable.
And he had the nerve to say it was something along the lines of I'm paraphrasing, of course. The offense runs through him. You know, it was something.
Let's move on. Chargers, Eagles. Justin Herbert,
bounce back.
Amazing game. It seems that this is why we're here to focus on the good, because the storyline seems to be around all the mind fucks. But Justin Herbert played really good on the road, and for a couple weeks there was like the Chargers offense was getting some hype. You saw the upside, and then they miss a couple weeks. I think they're actually pretty good. Herbert, an awesome game, 356 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, wasn't sacked once, fed Keenan Allen all night. I wouldn't be worried about Mike Williams if I had Mike Williams. I think it's just a weird stretch where they play these teams that take away the deep ball, but overall, Chargers, good win. Feel bad for Philadelphia. Philadelphia had like the first real football environment of the season, I think, that Sunday, but they still lost. I don't know if you saw the game at all.
Yeah, I was on it, man. They lost me a ton of money. That was the only one I missed on my parlay.
I think the Chargers are good.
They were right there too.
I think the Chargers.
Dude, Philly is just so dull. Like Jalen Reagor has the lowest ADOT.
Yeah.
Among receivers that have run X amount of routes in the entire
Rondell's has to be
in
lower.
the entire league. He's third lowest. In the entire league, I thought he was a fucking burner, and it's like the same thing with Waddle. I thought these were speed guys.
Yeah,
downfield threats.
Waddle's weird too.
What I can't stand these coaches that don't coach around the talent. They just plug the talent into their fucking.
Well, Nick's got a lot going on, man. I'm not expecting much from Nick. I mean,
yeah. Well, he's still trying to bounce back from the plant reference.
He's fertilizing, he's watering, he's waiting for roots to grow, and then those roots are gonna spread. But come on, it's not like there was ever a concern about Justin Herbert. I feel like everyone was expecting a bounce back to happen eventually. It ended up happening against Philadelphia. My takeaway, I think, just specifically for Philadelphia, it's like, and Bun, again, we were talking about this yesterday when we were watching the game. Finally, they're using Jalen Hurts, and like we were expecting coming into the year, like the entire offense is starting to become a rush first offense, using Jalen Hurts like Lamar was used before. Lamar's now turned into a true dual threat, and it's passing secondary. Like, why did it take 9 weeks for this to happen?
I think he probably had some grand scheme in his mind about what he wanted to do, and then they sucked at it. But they also don't have a lot of real talent either. So, and it's his first year head coach.
Jalen Hurts owners,
not one of the best situations out there.
I do think that Jalen Hurts owners should take a deep breath, because I think that the shift of being a run first offense, that's only beneficial to him, because he is looking, the last couple games he's looked more sharp as a passer, passing secondary. He looks more fluid back there, opposed to just having to rely on his arm every single play, which they were doing for the first 6-7 weeks of the season.
Good matchups cure everything.
That's what I wanted to take a quick look at, is Philly's schedule.
He's played good real-life quarterback.
Because 2 more losses would certainly scare me about his chances for the fantasy playoffs. They're at Denver and then home versus New Orleans.
Yeah, that could be 2 beatdowns.
Dude, they're rolling. They're rolling with him, man.
Dude, he played Detroit, and
all you need is one of those. And both those teams, they don't have the offense. You can't say that, Philly could beat both those teams. If a team doesn't have a high-scoring offense, I think anyone can basically beat anyone. Final non-brain fuck for me was the Patriots just absolutely ruining Sam Darnold's career, basically. That I told Rob that's my only regret, was not getting in the Patriots defense this weekend, because I just knew that was one of the things I knew was going to happen, is that they were just going to destroy him. And that's what happened. It's not looking good for Sam.
Oh, yeah. Wow. How bad is that? Wow. Yeah, that is just so bad. Dude, he was lighting the world on fire out of the gate. How did that happen? Wow. Jacoby's dead. I'm dropping him this week. I got a couple shares left.
I don't even want to talk about this game. This game
How about-
this game just
I got
is boring.
Point. I got 1 point on this game. It's this whole concept of studs. We keep seeing these studs coming back from injury, and it's reported that they're going to be limited, and then they just continue to crush. Like it happened last year, it's happening again this year. I mean, he got 24 opportunities. The report was 30 to 40% of the snaps. It still translated into 24 opportunities. I mean, like next week, he's 9K on DK. Like if they say that even if it's 40 to 50 or 50 to 60 or whatever, like 75% of him, it would be the biggest workload on the slate, undoubtedly.
Damian Harris was banged up as well.
Same thing with Kittle this week. You saw
Kittle
saw the same thing with Kittle.
He's so good.
Because dude, they're the star players. They're like obviously it doesn't matter if they're only out there half the time. They're gonna revolve those plays around them. Like while they're out there, they're gonna get them their touches. You play limited studs. It keeps happening.
Got to do it.
Yeah.
I
got a fun stat, courtesy of Number Fire, on CMC. More receiving yards than Robbie Anderson on 31 fewer targets.
I mean,
good times.
Yeah, he probably has more receiving yards on the season.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
a season stat.
Yeah, I'm not even. There's nothing fun about that.
Nothing fun at all.
It's sad, especially for
Unless
the Robbie
you got CMC.
shares. Whenever I think of Robbie Anderson, I actually think of when we're in Las Vegas and Beaver says right before we're about to go into the main event draft, he goes, I bet everyone's drafting Robbie Anderson. I bet everyone's on it.
Yeah, and you know the scenario where that story would have never got brought up again, it would have just died forever as if Robbie was crushing right now. But of course, he remembers that because he is the bust of the year. And that is 100% true. I had a random
when I made that video, he wasn't as big.
Right at the very end of drafting season.
Overcame my entire body on the way there.
Yeah, like literally all you could think about just the last 2 weeks is like, I don't have enough Robbie Anderson. I mean, this could be an issue. Which it
made too much sense.
Yeah, I mean, he's seen a lot of targets. It just hasn't materialized at all.
Right. I pinpointed the opportunity that came to fruition. I just didn't realize he was so bad.
What happened to the Bills? They're just not making big plays. Diggs still hasn't gotten there. Decent game, but they're not throwing the ball down the field. And I don't know I don't know what the Jaguars did specifically. I did not dig into their defensive strategy, but more teams are playing this like whatever the football guys call it, the shell.
It's called cover two.
Well, not just that.
Yeah, like deep cover two, keep everything in front of you.
So I don't know if that's what they were doing, but Josh Allen's like average completion was like under 5 yards.
Yeah, it's like borderline prevent. It's like a.
I mean, Cole Beasley had like 8 catches
like a variation of prevent
for like 38 yards.
Yeah,
I mean, just no big plays. Because they've had the easy schedule. Their schedule is not that difficult. I mean, especially lately, it's been extremely easy. But I mean, I don't know what else you can say. It's just they need to figure out a way to get the chunk plays again.
Yeah, something's not right about them. But we've seen this with Allen in the past. He reverts back to rookie year Josh Allen every once in a while. He'll be all right. What happened was that they got beat down by Beathard. That's what he does.
Bottom half in yards per play over the last 3 games for the Bills. Bottom half in the league. And then Urban Meyer gets a win. Good for you, Urban. Other mindfuck. Maybe one of the most exciting games.
Whoa, dude! I got stuff here
for Jaguars.
Yeah, there's all kinds of talking points. Come on, what do we think about the John Brown sighting? He's got to be better than Gagnew.
You're the one that wants to watch the game. I mean, what do you want to talk about? Fucking John Brown? You want to talk about John Brown? What?
How about Dan Arnold? Got it done again in the worst possible matchup. The not worst matchup. He gets it done again.
Dan Arnold's target share is
in play every week.
Extremely valuable, and I haven't looked at the prices on DraftKings for this week, but if he's low again, you're going there just because of the target share.
Yeah. Beat hard. 2 for 2, 33 passer rating, 118.8. Keep an eye out in case he ever gets an opportunity. Visca, 1 for -4. Fun. -0.2 yards per route run. Yeah, probably a record.
Yeah, we can.
Probably never happened before.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Maybe one of the most exciting games of the weekend. Falcons Saints.
Right.
I mean, this game started off firing. Did you guys see Kyle Pitts' drop early on? He had a 50-yard. It was 50 yards down the field.
Yep.
Hit right off his hands.
Oh, that's 2 in a row.
Down the sidelines, missed it.
It was right out of the gate.
2 in a row.
Right out of the gates.
Matt Ryan was firing early in this game. And
that's the flag.
It was exciting.
That's the Pits. That's the Pits.
They brought in Taysom, and I mean, Taysom was throwing some. He was throwing some lasers. So
it's Taysom time.
good game there.
Yeah.
I mean, props
need
to
it for the best ball shares.
props to Arthur Smith
We're
though
there.
of Atlanta for keeping that team competitive
Not
in
my
that
best ball
environment.
shares, just to be clear.
You kind of expected the Falcons to just fall flat on their face, and they came out and they got a win. Against one of the best teams in the league by record.
Wouldn't be bragging about that, Lowry. Yeah, impressive. C-Pat, GOAT.
Amazing,
It's unbelievable.
Amazing.
Dude, he's been inside the top 20 since week 3, since the breakout.
He almost housed
From the time of the breakout,
that
he has
late-
not had a finish outside of top
that
20.
late catch
He's
down the
sick.
sideline.
His efficiency is
game winner.
incredible.
He almost
Game
took
winner.
it to the house. He could have had more.
Dude, get him more.
Might be
Get
the best
him
player in
more.
the league. He could be the best player
Ridley's
in the league.
gone like this. Yeah, the ceiling is
The ceiling's the roof.
massive. I want to bring up Alvin Kamara as a potential sell high. I like to mix in the sell highs, buy lows. Lowry, this one's for you. I know you're a Kamara owner.
Spicy.
I've
So
seen-
who could you get?
Well,
who would you go for?
Lowry's
I
not
saw
gonna
some. I saw
admit-
some.
Kamara for
I saw
Diggs?
some of this other shit on the internet earlier too. That
Oh, here we go.
That Kamara's a sell high because
Stay off the internet.
Good for them. That's a great call by those
because
people.
he has a rough schedule coming up.
Wasn't even going to go there, but that's another feather in the cap to this take.
It's that and the concern which is true that his rushing share and his target share has declined since signing Mark Ingram. But my rebuttal to whatever, and I'm probably stealing all.
I was going there.
Yeah, I'm probably.
I got more than that.
Yeah, I'm probably stealing all your thunder here. But my
plenty of thunder
rebuttal to whatever you're gonna say is that unless you're getting another elite, which there are very few of running backs in return, then you just don't do it. Unless you have.
Oh, I mean, I'm not saying
unless you have extreme depth.
I'm not saying this is a fire sale. I'm saying go get whoever your favorite player
Stephon
is.
Diggs?
Like literally whoever you want. Just go get him.
Stephon
people are
Diggs.
still-
I mean, what are we? Salmon and tuna here, bun?
Stephon Diggs and who?
No, I'm saying go get Diggs and someone else. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like go get Diggs and Javonte Williams. Another buy low. We'll get to that.
That'd be a good
We'll get
trade.
to that. But no, what I was going to
That's
say.
a great trade example of Javonte Williams.
It is. It's Taysom time, dude. And we know how this goes. And he didn't even, Simeon was out there for most of this game, and there were 13 opportunities in the red zone, and Kamara only got one. And we've just seen this before. I mean, I would just get ahead of it. I really would. If I were a Kamara owner, but I'm not, because he was a full fade. The only running back in round 1 that survived.
Another mind fuck. We got to throw the Rams in there.
That isn't on the IR.
I got to throw the Rams in there. Lowry, do you want to say anything about all these Matthew Stafford memes? A lot of people comparing them. They're making Jared Goff jokes. It felt like one of my family members was being made fun of online today. With Matthew.
I literally don't care about the Twitter
Memes, Rob.
the Twitter
Good memes. They were
Twitter.
They were well done.
The Twitter fantasy football sphere.
Nothing hurts worse than a clever meme.
No, I don't give a fuck though. The one thing that I will say though, it's extremely unfortunate that Matthew hasn't just slaughtered on prime time. I mean, he's had three primetime games. He had Sunday Night Football, the very first game of the season, which I mean he did slaughter then. But then he had Thursday Night Football against Seattle, which he did. That was their first loss of the season. And now Sunday Night Football again, and they lose. Has his second worst performance of the year. So it is extremely unfortunate that everyone sees that on prime time. But if you happen
They don't know Matthew like you know Matthew.
if you're a seasoned fantasy football manager, then what you should be doing is targeting Matthew Stafford in a time period of negative public bias just because of a bad performance on primetime. But no, it's unfortunate that he's having these performances the way that he is on primetime. I mean, I want to see the MVP in primetime.
I don't think Lamar has any more primetime games left.
Vrabel, the alpha, gets another win. How about the Titans, man? I mean, if we're giving props to anyone, it should be the Titans and Mike Vrabel, the alpha of the NFL. Broncos, Cowboys.
He's a big dog too. I mean, Vrabel's the man. Come on.
Broncos, Cowboys.
Whoa. That's all you're gonna say about him?
Oh,
There we go.
You guys are moving through these games too fast. I got juice. Come on.
Okay, well,
Then get here on time so we can
Let's squeeze it
so
out
we can
then.
go on
I'm
schedule.
the one that should be worried. I'm the one that has a 493 game streak. of not missing.
I've seen more than you have.
I know.
Najee's eaten.
But I did want to note that Van Jefferson was the team leader in air yards, ADOT, and end zone targets over the last 3 weeks.
Thank you.
Can't remember where I pulled that from. So
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Come on, that's
Beaver,
insane. That's on a team with Cooper
Crazy.
Kupp and Robert Woods.
Can't believe
as
it.
Beaver continues.
go get him.
As Beaver, yeah, no,
He was on the waiver wire last week.
That is a legit stat, but I just gotta throw in there as Beaver continues to fade Cooper Kupp.
I'm building the case
on every slate possible. Cooper Kupp, I mean, it's just amazing. He has just a terrible game and ends with 11 receptions and 95 yards.
Yep. The fade did work though. He was not in the optimal last night.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not the case on DraftKings.
Cowboys get shut down for 2 early 4th down conversions, and it was like that just threw them off for the rest of the game. Teddy B runs one in, throws 2. I mean, the Broncos are a team that hard to figure out, but they do have weapons on offense. Tough scene for Cortland Sutton. I did see that he only just 1 catch.
I mean, what the hell happened here? It just nothing about that game made sense at all. It's one of the games that we hit specifically in
Dallas didn't execute offensively
in the DFS pod, and just I mean they lose Von Miller. Von Miller gets shipped to LA,
and they're missing another linebacker.
I mean they're missing Chubb. They're missing two inside linebackers. It's just everything is setting up. I mean the spread's 10 points. It's set up so they can just run the ball right down their throat. And I mean they could not get any traction at all. And I'm just going to continue to rant
after Dearness Johnson eats them up.
It's another thing that was just weird overall about every single game, not every single game, but a lot of the games yesterday was, and it applied to Zeke. You had multiple running backs that got injured and then were out for over a quarter and then came back. Like, that was so weird. Zeke comes out of halftime. He's not playing, and then he sits pretty much the entire third quarter, and they're just getting blown out. And then Zeke comes back in. Like,
and they run Dak up the middle for a sneak on the goal line when they're down 3 scores
for a 2-point conversion.
Takes a huge hit on his shoulder.
That was weird.
It's a 2-point conversion. That wasn't.
The starting receivers
for the touchdown. That was for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, just come on. That coach is better than that.
I was fully expecting that Dallas was just going to control that game from the get-go, and
no one made plays.
Positive game script for Zeke, and of course, I mean, now I'm just going on a DFS till Alberto got hurt too. So I did mix in some of that chalk. So like Zeke got hurt, and Alberto got hurt, and it just wasn't a good scene in that game.
This week overall, though, just really humbles anyone that thought there was a dominant team in the NFL, because it's like who is it?
Right there,
Tampa Bay.
We're watching them.
Tampa Bay was on a bye.
First
Buffalo
place in the AFC North.
loses. Dallas loses.
The Rams
it's just completely up in the air.
The Rams lose. Yeah, no, it's just
completely up in the air, and I kind of like it. It's no idea who's going to win.
I mean,
Super Bowl.
it's really the first season for a while where it's just not blatantly Kansas City.
I mean, that's what happens. None of those teams have the systematic longevity that the Steelers do.
Moving on, Dallas. It was just a day Dallas just didn't execute. They didn't get those like 4th down conversions, 3rd down conversions. Amari had a couple drops. Dak missed throws. I mean, they'll get it back together, but yeah, Javonte Williams, if he could ever get the job, he had some plays.
Philo, man, he continues to be one of the most efficient running backs
like
in the league. He's at the top of just about any rankings you look at for efficiency.
And
it's like the case is easy. Like if you're trying to buy him, just have the guy look up Melvin Gordon. I wrote it down. RB14 had 21 carries this week. Like, just tell him, be like, he's the number 2. Come on, that's usually enough.
Javonte Williams has the most missed tackles in the NFL.
Yeah, forced missed tackles forced. Yeah, and he's up there for yards per carry too. He's
broken
crushing.
or
he's
forced.
Crushing.
Broken or
he's
forced.
having a historic year for a rookie running back.
We got to figure that out. Packers Chiefs. I don't even know how to categorize this game. Nothing happened in this game.
Junk. Jordan Love down.
Jordan Love just never even got in the flow of the game. He always looked like it was his first snap of the game. He was just looking around awkwardly.
No juice.
Touchdown. Chase Claypool
Empty
stopped.
ball.
Yeah, nothing there. Never looked in command.
A.J. Dillon.
Packers defense did play hard. You
He's
could
a
say
hoss.
it's just the Chiefs just still not clicking, but the Packers defense, they were making plays. They were playing hard. They had stops.
Egregious coaching game, in my opinion.
And if
Aaron
you
Jones,
missed
14 opportunities. That's terrible.
Wow, total. That's all he got.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Yeah,
that's all I wrote with a
If
sad
you didn't
face.
see this game, you should know that they barely missed Tyreek on literally a 95-yard touchdown pass.
Yep.
It was just out of his reach.
I almost missed that. Good call, Bun. That shit matters, man.
Yeah, it does. It does matter when
That would have completely changed that slate.
Changes everything.
Well,
changes the entire
That's what I
game,
love about
the entire
DFS
slate,
is that
everything.
literally hundreds
Yes.
and thousands of dollars
and the double spy
change on every single play like that.
and the double spy. I was in 80th place, and I had the Tyreek Hill, Aaron Jones correlation, the only one to have it within the top 100, and who would have even known what could have been? It was just the could have been slate yesterday. You had the miss on Tyreek Hill, and then you had the drop touchdowns for Cincinnati.
It was still a good take by you guys. I had it on basically every team, that 1v1. Hey, you missed Giants Raiders, Bun.
No, I have that written here.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were going in chronological order. I noticed we were already into the afternoon games.
That game doesn't fall under any category. Sort of like Houston and Miami, just doesn't really fall under any.
It's the Galaxy. Just let the Galaxy lead.
I know. I just want to make sure we're going to get a Renfro call out here.
Well, Renfro. No, honestly,
continues to lead us
I need to say
admirably.
this. I need to say this.
It needs to be emphasized. Before we jump to the
should have been
games-
Renfro week. He needs to be better. That was not enough. This should have been Renfro week. This was his week, and it wasn't enough. He needs to be better.
That. It's time to
He needs to be
amp up
better.
the
He
expectations.
didn't get fucking 50 yards. It's not okay.
I like that. That's respect toward Renfro. That's the way he should be treated. We should be disappointed if he doesn't have a slate-breaking performance.
Absolutely.
He's on that
He
level
should have
now.
had 30.
And how about the Devontae Booker tilt? Did you guys play any Booker on DK?
No, I ended up not going in that direction.
So that's who I was trying to talk Bun. I wanted him to get off Gaskin, and Booker was my guy. And so I made a variation of our team with Booker. He goes over 100 yards, and then on his last carry gets -4 for a minus 3.4 deduction from his score.
yeah,
Tough
because
scene.
he fell under the 100-yard 3-point bonus.
Tough scene. But how about him, dude? He is.
That's definitely the second week in a row over 100 total yards.
Yeah, shout out to Bun, who said he was the premier handcuff. Good call. Crazy stat from PFF here.
Wish I would have taken some sort of action to follow up on that take.
Only Big Dog, more touches since
Typical
the Saquon injury.
soft dick Bun take.
Oh, here we go.
Just doesn't have any conviction. Just kind of throw something out there, and if it gets there's an argument against it, he just could be.
I'm water. I stay fluid.
That's almost like, that's kind of sad as a Saquon owner in main event. Second to Big Dog in touches since the Saquon injury. Devontae Booker.
Should have went and got him.
Talk about what could have been.
We'll never know how our lives could be different.
Touchdown! The Fry Guy!
Disgusting.
Woo!
Any final thoughts?
Just get off before I say the Muth is Luth thing.
No thoughts on Houston and
Already
Miami?
pissed. Oh, forgot about them. No.
I just want to say Jalen
I already gave
Waddle.
you the Gaskin
Jalen Waddle has been playing hard. Salute to him. I mean, he's
They're
produced.
not using him right. We
Yeah, but he's
referenced that
still
as well.
produced. He had 8 for 88. I mean,
Oh, yeah, he's a stud.
future's bright for him.
It is. Just sicko, not getting enough
Tyrod Taylor threw
not
the
getting
ball.
enough targets. One of the
Tyrod,
better receiving tight ends of our generation, just not getting.
did you see his one-handed snag?
It's every week.
It's like a bear paw.
Something like that every week.
43 attempts for Tyrod Taylor, 240 yards, 2 INTs, sacked 5 times, quarterback rating of 13.1.
Ooh, yikes. Yeah, and I played him. I don't know why I'm admitting to that. Played him in multiple season-long formats. Tough scene. That's going to really hurt the overarching streaming quarterback numbers for me on the season. Felt like I was doing pretty well up to that point, but
I want to end this
doesn't get
show
much worse than that.
with a final plea that it's expected to be done, but if we do not have the ability in Ohio to bet on NFL next NFL season, I don't want to say something like inappropriate or I don't want to like incite violence.
Yeah.
I just fucking get it done. I mean, it's shameful that it's gone on this long. I don't know I kind of know who's holding it up. It's clear that it needs to be mobile. It needs to be in bars. Just get it done.
It needs to happen.
And get it done.
I'm not going to start a riot, but if I see a group of others doing a riot, I'm going to join it.
Thank you for saying the word because I didn't.
We did not incite a riot. I just said what I would
It's not
do
right.
if there were one.
I'm sick of seeing these people post these underdog parlays, and the odds on those are amazing. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Yep. And we're getting raked over the coals on offshore sites with bad lines.
Smart.
20% juice.
Get it done.
Gladly, I'll pay it. Continue to.
Wait, one
No
final
issue.
stat here. Young Wei Koo, 5 for 5 on all of his kicks on Sunday. On field goals this season, he is 14 of 15.
Young Wei.
Best in the league.
It's Young Ho. Way to go, Young Ho.
Woo.
Way to make us proud.
Rob, you making popcorn?
Oh, shit. My heart's pounding. I swear to God, this is true. This isn't another one of my usual late excuses. Pulled into the wrong house. I'm all frazzled. Walked up. Very similar layout to yours, by the way. Look down.
Similar layout to my house.
As got my hand on the door.
Don't
The
please tell
doorknob.
me. Please tell me that you didn't walk in my neighbor's
Oh.
house.
Didn't walk in, but I'm out front because I see the landscape. Incredibly similar landscape as well.
So
And I'm like,
poor,
wow.
poor quality.
No, beautiful, and all the weeds were pulled. So I'm like, wow. First thought was Lowry finally got the landscape taken care of. And then I do a double take and realize they're not the same plants. So I start yelling, Lowry, you motherfucker. This and that. I don't even remember. I kind
gosh.
of blacked out, but this is with my hand on I actually opened, there was 2 doors. I opened the outside door and I'm yelling about the landscape. I thought you hired somebody else to do the landscape. I was fucking red. I mean, I'm still kind of mad about it, which I don't even do that whole thing, but
Please tell me.
I don't care who the fuck you hire, but that would have been a disgrace because I already did a good job on it and you know, combined with your failure to maintain it.
No, that's
That
why I
just
pay
would've-
people to do my lawn.
Lawn. That's the lawn, not the fucking landscape. Landscape is in the beds. Lawn is outside of the beds.
already said if I'll pay extra. I'll pay extra
Okay.
for the weeds.
Well, it's a different function. It's a different department. That would be a job for the landscape.
Leaves are
crew.
on the ground. Winter's coming, so we'll just
Yeah.
leave them there until next year.
Fuck it at this point.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, but got away scot-free. Got back. And what's really weird is Selways, there's a
Which
car
neighbors?
just like 2 down. There's a
Oh,
car just
God.
like Buns in
Oh,
the spot where he
no.
always parks. And then there's a different car next to him. And that was the other thought. I mean, really, these things, all these factors should have added up quicker than they
Mrs.
did.
Bricker.
I
That's
thought
who
you
that
got.
is.
I thought you got a new car. So I'm thinking,
Mrs.
wow,
Bricker.
fucking Moneybags Lowry over here getting new landscape from a different company, buying a new car. Wait till I fucking get a hold of him and
Elementary school librarian. Almost
Oh, no.
knocked down her door. And I'm sure that this is going to turn.
could have been bad.
I avoid all the neighborly talk. Like I'm just not that kind of guy where I'm like going out to take my trash and I'm like, oh yeah, hey neighbor, how's life? And it just turns into a 15-minute discussion. Like I get out of my car, I scurry over to the garbage can and I pull it to the road as fast as I
Scurry.
can. I set it there and then I just, Kato, come on, let's go inside, and I isolate.
And this neighborhood's toward the elderly side of the spectrum,
I can't.
and they take that shit serious, man. You got to at least give them like a.
I do.
It doesn't have to be a stop and talk, but
No,
you,
no.
you got to give them like
No,
the
I give-
clearly, obviously busy type
Oh, I do.
greeting. You know,
Yeah, no, and that's
Just be like
no.
over the top.
I'm being over the top when
Curious, you say.
over the top exaggerating the level of avoidance I have. I mean, I get out of the car and hey, how's it going? But at the same time, like I'm moving pretty quick just to be able to avoid what could be then the 25-minute discussion.
Oh,
because
God, yeah,
no,
the day killer.
Yeah,
The day
yeah,
killer.
because that's exactly what it turns into. It's I mean, a lot of the neighbors, it's hey, how's it going? And then trickle, trickle, trickle. And I already know that exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to give one of those, hey, how's it going, to the elementary librarian. And she's going to go, do you know what happened the other night?
Yeah,
it's
'cause
gonna-
she's looking out the window and,
I'm-
saw that I pulled
and
right
I'm
in here.
obligated.
Oh, yeah.
You made me obligated, to which I'm gonna miss out of an hour of opportunity cost of my life because I have to go and I have to have the discussion. I have to pretty much explain what happened.
I apologize for that, but I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with your sentiment of how to play that situation. You go over the top politeness and
Yes.
over the top being obvious about how busy you are.
Yes.
The double over the top.
No, it's
They
it's
cancel
always
each other
like that.
out,
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
good.
Yeah, just hey, how's it going? Good to see you. And then, you're just continuing to move, and they kind of get the picture, like, oh, or like I have a bag like in my car, and it's like, yeah, hurry up, get it out.
Can't stress it enough. So it's not always as obvious as it seems.
Or I just have Cato, and they're like, oh shit, I don't want any part of that.
There you go. Yeah, that's how it is.
By the way, you still owe Cato a pack of Frosty Paws.
No, Josh said he bought a double pack, and I was supposed to pay him, which I didn't pay for that either. So either way, I owe somebody. All right.
Don't give me the excuse. Tell it to Cato.
Dude, I gotta at least. I mean,
here we go.
I either gotta.
Here we go. We gotta jam the showdown lineups. It's supposed to be 7:30. It was supposed to be a 7:30 sharp start.
Look at this. And the only reason I was late, if I was late, other than what I've already explained, is just really, really over the top preparedness. Quite frankly, what's the situation with Montgomery?
He's in.
Do we have any type of
He's in.
projection for him, or
No, I haven't seen anything that's come across to say he's limited. This is gonna be the first look that we're gonna get, and is he gonna be the same workhorse back pre-Klee Herbert, or is it gonna be that they're gonna now be splitting? I don't know.
I think there's no way you can take Herbert all the way off the field. I think it's a split.
You have to play Jesse James,
and it just makes sense. Wait, what?
You got to put in Jesse James.
For who?
Chicago.
Revenge game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, on Kings, I'm going there.
Wouldn't that be something?